Hi guys, so my studio is finally taking shape. It's taken me a lot longer than I expected to sort of get moved in, get everything set up, but I think I'm finally there. I've definitely got less boxes to sort of open up now, which is really good. And yeah, studio tour coming very soon. But in this video, I want to show you something new. And whenever I say new, I typically mean new to me, not new to sort of the hobby industry. And obviously 3D printing, yeah, I love 3D printing. I love trying out new printers, but as much as I love trying out new printers, I love trying out new resin as well. So yeah, I'm going to use this 8K space grade water washable resin for the ELEGOO, which is pretty cool because you don't need any special chemicals to clean the prints afterwards. Yeah, as it says, water washable, so just use water to clean off your miniatures, which is pretty cool. And yeah, I am going to use it in my lovely ELEGOO Mars 4 printer. But like all other printers, I like to have them in shelving units. But most printers, their lids will either raise off or sort of swivel up. This is a swivel up one, but again, there's no clearance room for it. But in this one, rather than sort of cut it in half, like I've done with most of my other sort of printers and their top boxes, this one, all you need to do was remove a few screws from the edge. And yeah, this thing just slides on and off real nice and easy, so I can obviously get to it, get to the build plate, the print in, putting the resin in and all the rest. So yeah, top tip, just take things apart. That's what I do, take them apart to make them sort of fit where they need to go. And this way obviously I can get a nice 3D printer on a shelf, but I don't need tons of room above it. I can just slide the thing on and off real easy. He says. There we go. Right, let's get into it. And the first thing I'm going to do is find a model to print out on this thing. And I'm going to go for this large bust of a Teenage Ninja Mutant Turtle. Just because obviously I like the look of them. And recently I've really been enjoying painting larger miniatures, which is pretty cool. Plus the other great thing is a nice large miniature. I can do a little bit of time-lapse video of this printing out on the ELEGOO machine. And well, this is how it looks when it's speeded up. Obviously this print, can't remember exactly how long it took. May have been around about the 4-hour mark possibly. But as you can see, yeah, it's speeded up nicely. And well, as they say when you get these time lapses, it's buttery smooth. Which seems a real kind of crazy sort of thing to say. But it sounds like fun, and yeah, love how it's come out. And more importantly, yeah, the print has come out perfectly as well. Looks awesome and feels great. I say the resins these days, the feel of them is coming really, really good, and they seem to be more and more like, well, sort of plastic miniatures rather than, I always kind of use this term, when I first started printing things off, they used to feel like they were made of ceramic. Very weird to touch and felt like they would just break if you dropped them, which in many cases they would. But yeah, the resins these days are much, much better. So obviously going to be painting this dude, and well, I've got a nice colour forged green to paint him in. So that's exactly what I've done. Don't ask why I've got 2 of these. Well, I've actually got 3 of these printed because I'm going to do some for my children. So yeah, love how he looks. Although the green, as much as I like the green, I think it's, well, it's not the kind of green that I kind of wanted. So I do end up painting him with a different green. Just because, yeah, I wasn't too fussed on his green. Anyway, we'll start with his main chest. So as you'd have seen from the thumbnail, well, I think you may have done, depending on which thumbnail I decided to go with. Yeah, I love comic book style. So obviously my go-to painting style is definitely Slapchop, because it works really, really well on miniatures that have lots of detail. But when you get miniatures, especially when you print them out larger like this, and then they have just very, well, very large flat areas, then speed paints don't really look, well, look very good. So yeah, I am going with a good old comic book style. As well, this is very fun. It's great to try, say, new things. Although this is probably about my 4th miniature now that I've tried doing this with. And yeah, so I'm just going to show you how to do a very sort of simple comic book style. Obviously, there are videos out there that show it in a much more better way than I could. But they are harder to do. So say I'm just keeping it really simple, just using a couple of colours. So as you can see, yeah, I'm using the Army War paint here. And this one is the Wasteland clay. Watered it down just a little bit, and then putting on, obviously, as you can see, I'm putting on 2 coats. And the thing I really love about the comic book style is things look so, well, they're very colourful and vibrant. And I think that's why the initial sort of green that I used as a primer, yeah, it looked a bit too, well, it looked army kind of green, which is probably good for some miniatures. But for this one, yeah, I wanted more of a vibrant colour. And this is where my taste in how I paint things is really sort of either end of the spectrum, I think. I love grimdark style, which I can definitely achieve with the Slapchop and speed paints. But then the other end that I really like is the strong, vibrant colours, almost like I'm painting it in a kind of a Disney sort of style. Yeah, so I seem to like either end, grimdark or very strong, very vibrant, bold colours. And yeah, they say this is where the comic book style really works well for this. So this sort of style painting, very easy to do. So the way I'm doing it, I'm literally just going to use a couple of colours on each one. So yeah, I've gone a dark green, then I'll do a light green. The same with the kind of like the kind of brownish sort of colour. I'll then go over and do a lighter one on that. So initially I am now painting, well, the things I'm going to paint white, but I'm kind of doing them in a grey. So this is the War Paint Fanatics Great Hall Grey, because then I'm going to do a little highlight over the grey with some white. So yeah, you don't need many colours for this. I've kind of picked out 2 of every colour. So I've got 2 greens, 2 oranges, 2 of the kind of browns, and then say the grey and the white for highlighting. But yeah, love how these look. I say these are going to be for my kids. They're going to, well, that's why I put the in the back of the head. There's a nice big hole. So these can be wall mounted, or I could have sort of printed out the kind of the plinth sort of thing to go underneath it. But I think in wall mounting is so much more fun because it gets it off the shelf as well, and it's a great way of showing it. So with these paints, yeah, again, these are thinned down ever so slightly. They go on really, really well. Coverage is great, but again, I'm probably still going to do 2 coats of everything for this. So this is just a case of putting on some sort of like highlighted areas. So typically go for areas that would be kind of like raised up. But as this is comic style, yeah, I kind of just paint bits wherever I think or feel they should go, really. Again, it's all about having fun. And that's certainly what I do have here. So when it comes to painting miniatures, normally I would always go Slapchop. But say because these miniatures or these busts are much larger, yeah, comic book style is the one I'm going to go for these. So you are going to see some more comic book style videos this month. As it is October, yeah, I've got quite a few Orc sort of videos coming, but I'm printing miniatures out larger than they would normally be. If you've seen any of my recent videos or my live streams, I have been talking about making a kill team, but a rather large size kill team. So I'll just print out the first Orc for that, and you'll see that video very, very soon. So this type of painting really is fun. And like I'm always saying, yeah, this hobby is all about having fun, trying new things, because you never know if you're going to like something until you sort of really try it. And even then, sometimes you need to try it a couple of times just to sort of make it, well, better and easier on yourself. So I have just obviously done the 2 main colours here, like the 2 greens, the 2 browns, 2 oranges. But yeah, I thought I'd have a go at mixing up and doing sort of a darker green, although this green is almost, well, it's got a little hue of blue in it. But I thought I'd have a go at doing this in all the recesses, just to make them pop and stand out more. Especially this dude, as obviously he's got some lovely, nice muscles here. And that's why I love painting orcs, because obviously they are as muscly as they can get. But yeah, this little ninja, he's certainly buff and been working out. Although I do this, but generally whenever I do finish off painting these, I do the old black lining. And the black lining I always put in sort of the nooks, crannies, and all these definition bits just to make them sort of pop. But yeah, so I thought I'd have a go at trying something a little bit different on this one. So I've only done a few sort of miniatures where I've done this style of painting, but really enjoyed them. Really enjoyed how they look at the end. I really can't say enough. It's so surprising that I love the sort of the grimdark style painting, and then this kind of sort of Disney look, almost strong, vibrant colours. But again, that's where we're all different. Some people will like this, some won't. It is just a case of painting to, well, whatever pleases you. So don't paint to sort of try and compete with other people, unless obviously it's a painting competition. But yeah, paint how you want to paint. Paint what makes you happy and what you enjoy looking at. And I say, for me, painting larger miniatures does seem to be something I've been doing more and more of over the last couple of months. So yeah, absolutely love doing this. So yeah, I'll do the black lining with pens. Permanent markers is the well, the easiest way of doing it. But as I've recently found out, some markers work better than others. I've had a marker for, I don't know, a good year or so. Been using it. It works really, really well, but it started to run out. So I thought I'd go online and buy some permanent markers, which these ones are. And supposedly these can sort of draw or whatever on, well, any kind of material. Glass, plastics, wood, everything, supposedly. But they don't seem to work too well on this. So I think what I might need to do is have a go at varnishing these miniatures. Got the old rattle cans, got the good old matte sort of varnish. Have a go at doing that and then see how well they work. I try to persevere with these pens. I had 3 different types, and yeah, they all seem to struggle on this. I don't know if it's because it's not exactly rough, the paint. I say it's definitely dried, but yeah, these didn't work too well at all. I tried to persevere, but in the end, yeah, I gave up and went back to just using the brush and some black paint, which is obviously it's easy enough to do. But for me, I do find using the marker pen, I have more control over it, and obviously the edges and the markings are all consistently the same thickness. Whereas sometimes when you're using the paint, that first little bit that goes on can be a little bit thicker and heavier than all the rest. But say this is the bits, guys. Persevere with this. It does take a long time going around doing the edges, but this is what transforms it into the comic book style. And I say I've got quite a few large miniatures coming out this month, so keep an eye out for them. Especially the kill team. I'm printing out an orc kill team, but it's a lot bigger than your typical kill team. And there we go. Love how he's come out. So yeah, guys, if you want to see more of these kind of videos, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell. As now I am in my studio, yeah, I'm going to get cracking and printing and painting lots of stuff, whether it's Warhammer, D&D, or just fun little miniatures like this one. So big shout out and thank you again to ELEGOO for sending me their resin. Yeah, this stuff worked perfectly, cleaned up a treat, and yeah, definitely be using this again. So check out the links down below to both the Washable 8K resin and the ELEGOO Saturn 4 Ultra, which yeah, a great combination to get awesome prints and then, well, have fun printing. Okay guys, you all take care. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.